Good day, everyone, and welcome to the final in the men's division of the European Heyball Open 2025, brought to you by WPA and EPBF, and proudly sponsored by Joy Burgers and Milo. Exciting match ahead of us. Clint Jensen against Stephen Ellis in this final of the men's division. Race to 7, 100-minute time limit. And Clint Jensen, runner-up in the European Championship just a few days ago against his old friend Stephen Ellis, who plays a lot of Heyball, doing really well recently on the international Heyball circuit.
Well, hello, Raymond. I'm so glad to be here with you. And what a final we've got today in the men's category, Stephen Ellis and Clint Jensen. I mean, it's been a good week for Great Britain.
Yeah, welcome, Lenukta. Thank you for joining us on this live stream for the final. And exactly, been a good week. Kelly Fisher just doing the double, winning the European Championship and European Heyball Open just a few moments ago against Shi Tianxi from China. Now we have two players from the UK in this final as well. So really doing well. A lot of medals for the UK in this tournament.
Yeah, I think we've seen in the last couple of years, Raymond, that the players from the UK in particular have taken in amazing fashion to the game of Heyball, and they are featuring more and more frequently in the business end of most of the major Heyball tours.
Yeah, they really are, especially the tournaments held in China, and yeah, just actually we had the inaugural BPF Heyball National Championships, British Pool Federation holding their Heyball Championships. I think it was 4 or 5 days ago, and that was won by Jack Whelan. He also doing very well on the Heyball circuit. So yeah, the UK being represented very well internationally on the Heyball circuit.
Extension.
You know, Raymond, I have to say, I feel like we've seen a lot more of Stephen Ellis than Clint Jensen on the Havel tables over the last year or so. I feel like Stephen Ellis has been at almost all of the tournaments.
Yeah, that's quite accurate. Most of the continental events, as well as the events in China, Stephen Ellis has been a part of, but uh, can't rule Clint Jensen out. Winner of the Champion of Champions, defeating Corey Deuel 7-2 last year in October in Australia. And that tournament, the Champion of Champions had the likes of Alex Pagulayan in it, Corey Deuel finalist. So yeah, Jensen winning that one in spectacular fashion. So you can never rule Clint Jensen out.
Absolutely. And I mean, not just on Hayball, I think he is much better known for his X on the 7 foot table. But that said, I believe he did take one or two titles in the last year or so on the continental events.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. He is well known for his exploits on the black ball table, the smaller black ball table. And you can see he plays his patterns on this table even. He does make this table feel like a black ball table, easily navigating through the positional play and also his pattern play on this table. Excellent pattern play.
Nicely
Oh, that's a
done there.
classy shot. Yeah, very classy from Ianson.
I must say, Raymond, I mean, looking at these Unity balls, as you've mentioned frequently on the last couple of days, the new Unity Heyball set of balls from WPA and Dynasphere, I was pleasantly surprised to see Kelly Fisher's review of the set today on Facebook. Some media went out from Dynasphere, and she said that she finds the pattern play to be a little easier on the brain with these sets of balls, which is very interesting. And I'd be very interested actually to see how the other players feel about it. And I'd love to see more interviews like that coming our way from these events on the players' perception of this new set, the pink and blue balls.
Yeah, I did catch a bit of that, and she also said easier to see the problem balls and choose her set before when it's an open table. So definitely makes sense, and she showed that in winning her match in the style that she did with finish after finish in that match from Kelly Fisher. As we see Clint Jensen taking that first point, leading 1-0 against Stephen Ellis in this race to 7 men's final at the European Heyball Open 2025. Oh, time running. Clint Jensen to break now, 1-0 up in the second frame. Currently leading Stephen Ellis in this race to 7 men's final of the European Championship. Yeah, Stephen Ellis in form. He knows exactly where that cue ball is going on the table. He knows his angles so well when glancing off an object ball. One of the key traits of Stephen Ellis, not only is his potting, but his cue ball movement around the table. Spectacular stuff from him. Yeah, it's just that blue ball that's at the bottom of the table nearest to the pink. Be interesting to see how he gets on that. And yeah, it looks like it might pot into the bottom right corner pocket on our side of the table.
Time. Extension.
Yeah, good time to be using his extension now. Has to get this cue ball onto the left-hand side of the table at some point if that ball is potable into the bottom right.
Time.
Doesn't have an extension left. Referee just called time. Has 10 seconds left after the ref calls time, and yeah, wasn't able to get the cue ball through the gap there.
Oh,
Having to
wow.
go cushion first. Yeah, he's had to do
Look
that, and
at
it's close.
that.
Oh my word, look at that. What a recovery shot from
Look
Stephen Ellis.
at that. That is a great, great shot there from him. Way to cement his presence in this final here against probably a buddy, Clint Jensen. Ellis on the board now, Raymond.
Yeah, that was a great rack and run from him. Clearance off his opponent's dry break. And yeah, he'll be breaking in the next frame as well. So very good start to get his points on the board. Score now 1-all in this race to 7. What a recovery shot he had to
And
play there.
yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And, race to 7 for a grand final, that's quite a short race, a much shorter race than these players would have become accustomed to in other, Hayball tournaments where you can go up to race to 23 sometimes. And now you're playing for the grand prize here and that champion title in just a race to 7. And it can be over so quick, as we've seen time and time again.
Yeah, very quick indeed. You have to calibrate very quickly if you haven't played on the TV table before. And also, which I don't think Stephen Ellis has. Jensen has been on the TV table. I don't think Ellis has been. So the TV table would be playing slightly different under the lights, and also being a Q8. The other table's Q7s at this tournament. That would make a slight difference. And yeah, let's see what Stephen Ellis can do now. He is breaking, currently 1-all. Can't let your opponent get away with the lead in these short races, these race to 7s.
Well, just a dry break there from Stephen Ellis as we see Clint approach the table now to select color.
I'm actually quite
Oof, and the
surprised
8 ball
at
just
that. Yeah, 8-ball almost going in there, Lenufta. Yeah, I'm quite surprised at the way he broke those. Not the usual break we see from head on, or even the previous break where you're glancing the first ball, half ball, and looking for those two in the center. So either that's something new he's trying or that has been working for him all tournament. Time will tell in this final.
Well, with those two pinks off the table, now the pinks are really looking good. The finish seems almost certain here for Clint, for a player of his caliber.
Time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
once
left
he's done at the
himself
top of the
just an
table,
angle.
he can work his way down, and yeah, once he's on the side of the table, I feel it's just that ball nearest to the blue on the left-hand side of the table that might was an issue for him.
It might actually, yeah, it's going to be difficult. He won't be able to get the, well, not easily anyway, get the cue ball back to the side of the table to play on that pink. So some maneuvering required here. He'll have to manufacture a finish, Raymond. Not as easy a finish as we thought, considering where the cue ball is right now. Oh, look at that. Look
Yeah,
at
this is good.
that. I think
This
he's
is
got
good.
it. He's got it.
This is good.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I mean. He controls the
Yeah.
cue ball on this table as if he's playing on a blackboard
So
table.
well. I mean, considering the amount of traffic there with all those blues, he managed to find that gap. And I mean, it looked it looked like it couldn't happen from where we saw him initially, and he did
Time.
that so lovely, so effortlessly. Look at that. Beautiful.
Yeah, this is really nice from Clint so far. Very nice from him.
Mm. What seemingly looked like a difficult finish wasn't that difficult for the likes of Clint Ianson. So yeah, I think well deserved second point loading for him here in this race to 7.
Yeah, definitely well deserved, and this would be a clearance off his opponent's dry break. So another rack and run in this match when he converts this black ball now to be 2-1 up in this race to 7, and he will be breaking next. So if one of these players find a good break, and we see a break and run and then a counter, that's the way we're going to see somebody pulling away in this match. But Ianson definitely looks in control of this table, and yeah, he looks good when he's at the table.
As the ref readies the table for this fourth frame in the finals of the men's Euro Heyball Open, Raymond, did you notice Clint's shirt? He's got a shirt on that speaks to
Autism
autism
awareness.
awareness.
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually trying to see if I could find out some information on that and what's his connection with the autism awareness movement. But it's really lovely. It's really lovely actually to see a player do that and on this kind of stadium. I haven't seen that
Yes,
before
of course.
from a player. Yeah, and I think it's great. I mean, well, I've got a background in speech therapy, so this is yeah, it's really lovely to see. And I think I hope we see more of this kind of thing, whatever the cause is. This is an excellent platform to people for people to show their support. So kudos to Clint.
Definitely is, and it does show that what you wear to these events is very important, and the awareness that it can create as well. And that is Clint making a ball on the break. Pink into the center. Looks like all the blues are still on the table, so he's made a ball after that counter clearance off Stephen Ellis's dry break. So is this his opportunity to increase the lead now and go 3-1 up?
That just might prove to be a costly mistake for Clint as
Yeah, I'm
Ellis
actually
takes
surprised
his visit now.
that he went that route. Playing that long shot down the table. That wasn't the easiest to play, and he has brought Stephen Ellis to the table with an opportunity to equalize things once again. And Stephen Ellis will be breaking in the next frame, so that can be really important at this stage of the match. He could have been 3-1 down. If he can equalize this and break well, he could go 3-2 up.
Is there a time limit applied to these finals, Raymond?
Yes, I believe so. 100 minutes all the way through the tournament for the ladies and the men's division, but the time limit hasn't really come into play from what I've seen. Not only are the players playing fast enough, they are also stopping the clock between racks, so while the referee racks the balls, and also for the player break. So
Yeah, I think 100
100
minutes
minutes of
is
actual
pretty
play time.
generous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is a lot.
100 minutes for the race to 7 is quite generous in, Haywall. Oh, Stephen Ellis taking these blues in its stride. He really looks comfortable on these tables.
Yeah, very comfortable indeed. Plays so much of Hayball these days, and I really expect him to take out this finish quite well. Good shot selection, great pattern play.
Mm. And Stephen Ellis has been playing in a lot of the station events as well, if I'm correct. And I remember seeing his name in some of the station events. And those station events will really take your game to the next level because it is the finest players in China that frequent those events, obviously to gain their ranking points. I mean, prize money aside, which is quite pretty for those Joy Station events, it's the ranking points and, for them to be seeded or superseded into that main Grandmasters final. So Stephen Ellis as well has been participating in those events, and we can see by the level of confidence he has on the table now, it's done him a world of good as he takes on this black and secures his third point. Wow, nicely done.
Worth mentioning as well that Stephen Ellis has made it to stage 3 in the Joy Masters event, the last 32 players out of about 1,000 this year. So that's some big accomplishments for Mr. Ellis in the last year of play.
Oh, just a correction there. He's actually taken his second point. The scores are tied 2-2 now, according to the scoreboard.
Score 2-all in this race to 7 between Stephen Ellis and Clint Ianson. Yeah, and after making that previous clearance, now with the break in this fifth frame, has potted a blue ball on the break. So where he could have been 3-1 down.
Time.
It was quite a strong field as well, Raymond, in this tournament, both in the ladies' division and the men's division. We saw some stellar performances from the players from Hong Kong as well. I remember some standout performances there from them and even from the Germans. So I'd say there was quite a strong field, considering that the From China with Love events is only in its second season. To see these players, particularly from nine ball, come out in full force on the Hayball tables, regardless of the level of
Time.
experience that they have with this game.
Yeah, definitely the field was a really tough field. If you look at the men's side, so many well-known names on the nine ball circuit, as well as then you go over and you look at the ladies division. I mean, if you look at the ladies' last eight, you had Shi Tianxi, previous winner of a continental event, Veronica Halliday, Diana Kajeva, Narantuya Baisakan from Mongolia, Linnea Helmastrom, the junior champion,
Time.
Rebecca Kenya,
Time.
Kenna, the snooker champion, Wendy Yance, also one of the Hayball tournament champions, and Kelly Fisher. That was the last eight in the ladies division. So, very tough field indeed.
Very tough field. And those are the players that you'd see also participate and the Masters events as well, which is the crowning jewel event in the Joy Hayball calendar. And I mean, with these Hayball Opens now, the continent, the European being the one that we're enjoying now, um, the players are not only playing for bragging rights, that champion status, they're also playing for WPA ranking points, as well as a decent prize fund. I mean, both the men's and women's champion at this tournament goes home with 10,000 US dollars, and up to the last 64 paid in this event.
Time.
Oof, almost.
Yeah, very close indeed with that one. But I think this is a chance for Jensen. He needs a good bounce off that cue ball and not enough.
I think one of the big events also coming up as we approach the end of September is the 2025 Hayball Champion of Champions, where the best Hayball players, male and female,
Time.
from each country will be heading over to Brisbane, Australia on the 18th to 21st September for that major tournament. And that is a star-studded event. Star-studded event that's going to be coming to you at the end of September. total prize pot of 400,000 US dollars, and that's just besides the bragging rights. So that's also a beautiful event coming up. And Raymond, I believe the next Continental Open should be in Australia as well.
Yeah, I think they are going to have the Continental Open in Australia at the same time, followed by an Open, Asian Open, and South American Open afterwards. But yeah, I believe there's actually three tournaments in Australia at the time. I think it's Australian Heyball Championship, Australian Heyball Open, and of course Champion of Champions, which the defending champion is actually playing in this final, Mr. Clint Jensen, defending champion in that event last year.
Yeah, I'm sure both Stephen Ellis and Clint Inson are ecstatic to be in this final. You know, it is quite an accomplishment. Once again, I mean, speaking of the this tournament, but to excel in, one of arguably one of the more difficult cue sports available to cues the world over, you have to know your story on the Hayball table. And these two have just been going from strength to strength over the last couple of years.
Yeah, you're definitely right. You have to, as you say, you have to know what you're doing and know your story on these tables. You have to know the way they react, the way the balls react, the cloth, the cushions, and of course, they are 9 foot tables, snooker pockets, 9 ball, well, American style balls. And as he got this to the center, from this view, we can't see that well if it passes. If it doesn't, he's gonna have to bank this. It must go. It does.
My, oh my.
Look
Look
at
at
that.
that. Look at that. Beautiful stuff there from Stephen Ellis. He takes the lead in this match now, 3-2 for him in this race to 7. You're tuned in to the men's grand finals in Germany, Bad Windungen, Germany, Wildungen, Germany. And this is the last match of this tournament.
Yeah, last match of this tournament, and it has been a really great tournament thus far, and another exciting final. Rest of the final ahead of us in the next couple of minutes. So 5 minutes for the players at 5 frames played. We will be back in a couple of minutes. Stay right with us.
Yes, and thank you for those of you who have joined us wherever you're watching from the world on YouTube, WPA Live.tv, as well as our Facebook platforms. Thank you for joining us. Remember to hit that share button, tag Stephen Ellis and Clint Ianson. Let our pool world know this match is underway, the men's final at the Euro A-Ball Open. We'll be back just after this.
And the players are back after that 5-minute break. 3-2 in favour of Stephen Ellis over Clint Ensign in this race to 7 grand final here at the European Heyball Open 2025, presented by Joy Billiards and Lebo in Cloth. Clint Ensign now, and he needs to drop a ball on this break. Really needs to find a good break. Can't afford to let Ellis back with an opportunity to extend that lead.
Oh my.
And he's made one. Yeah,
Yes.
just. Blues in play, but I think this is a very tough clearance to take on Blues. This is a tough clearance. He's playing for the bank into the opposite center.
That's a good shot.
Nicely played.
He actually hit that, banked that perfectly, because you saw the object ball straighten up as it made contact with the cushion, and he had such a small margin for error when he played that bank. So nice, confident pot there from
Attention.
Clint Jensen. And that would have
Yeah,
definitely, I
and that
think that
has
might
opened up.
be the money shot for him in this frame.
Yes, definitely opened up the frame. It looked like a very tough clearance when he came to the table.
Time.
Only problem I see is he's left himself short on the blue to the top corner. Now there's a chance he might be playing it off the pink just to keep white ball control. Yes, he is.
Nice.
It was the only way he was going to stay on the right side of the blue that's near the balk line. And that's the only way he's going to get the cue ball back down table for the last remaining blue. Yeah, very nicely judged. That was an excellent shot.
Time.
Playing through the gap between black ball and pink ball. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's lovely. That is lovely stuff there from Clint Ianson. Some great recovery shots there from him, and great maneuvering of the cue ball.
Needs a bounce. Oh, that's not the greatest. He's going to need another good shot on this black ball. That's a fine cut to the center.
The cut is there, but it's a difficult one to take on. He's going for it. Okay, that's a
It's
better
there.
angle, right? Yeah. Wasn't as difficult as it looked from the previous view, but as we got that close-up camera, it definitely was takeable, and he did it really well. He's equalized now 3-3 in this race to 7. Oof. You know, Raymond, one of the beautiful things, I think, if we're following the players over the last year and a half who've frequented these tournaments, that they get to travel to all these amazing destinations across the globe. I mean, but Wildingen, for example, is a quaint little spa kind of town in Germany, a place that, I don't think most tourists actually would treat as a what do you call a bucket list destination, but our players get to see it. And I mean, it's hailed as a lovely spa town in Germany. So I think, and the weather has been mild there. I think from most of what we've seen of the players posting, they've really the sites and particularly the architecture in that space.
Yeah, we have seen the players take to social media and showing that they are really enjoying this tournament. And we see that with the other continental events as well. As you say, they are held in sometimes not bucket list locations, but quaint towns. And yeah, it's really nice to see those places from the players' perspective and to see them enjoying themselves as well.
Yeah, it's the traveling. I think the traveling has got to be the highlight for people who perform on the pinnacle level in whatever sport it is. The fact that they get to see these amazing destinations and get to do the thing that they love the most. What do we have here? Two, four, six. Yep. Clint
Try
Jensen to the
break, yeah.
table now.
And that previous frame was a break and run from Ianson, so this is an opportunity for him to take the lead once again off the dry break from Stephen Ellis. And what a clearance that was in the last frame from Ianson. And what that last frame showed us is that Clint Jensen can really turn it up when he needs to and when he wants to, because that was one of the best finishes I've seen thus far, especially from the layout of the balls in that last frame.
Time.
I'd say it's just that pink in the middle of the cluster, in the middle of those three blue balls, um, that would might present somewhat of a problem for him. Would be interesting to see how he's going to maneuver this cue ball now to make light work of that. I wonder if he's going to try and run into the blue here. Play that pink for the center pocket, run into the blue.
He's a little bit straight for that, so I actually think he might go center and then corner. And if he can hold the cue ball, that pink is potable, the one that's at the bottom of the blues, it's potable into the bottom left. So if he holds the cue ball off the pink that goes into the bottom right, he'll have a shot on that. That is one way to play this.
Yeah, I mean, he could potentially, like you said, play the corner first, then the other one to the opposite corner and nudge the blue out of the way to play the last pink into the center pocket. He could potentially do that as well. And the black
That
goes
is
to the
what I
corner
see here,
pocket.
because then he'd get the cue ball through the gap of those two blues, and I think that's what he could be playing. However, he's looking at the other pink now.
Yeah, look, either way, even if he goes the route of the pink on the left now and plays the other pink next and the one on the closest to the cushion last, he'd still get position on the black ball. There we go.
Yeah, I actually think this is the better option, not needing to make that unnecessary kiss on the blues first. He might have to, if he's not perfect on that last object ball, in order to get onto the black ball. But yeah, the less unnecessary cannons and kisses you can do, the better, of course.
Mm. Well, we've got a question here from one of the viewers, Faisal Sidat from South Africa, one of the super supporters of the WPA ranking events. Faisal asks, I thought that they did away with the magic rack. So, Faisal, actually, at this tournament, they are playing 4 point break. Therefore, the magic rack is in play at this tournament because, obviously, as we know, the magic rack gives you a better ball contact on the rack, and it is 4 points for the men, 3 points for the women at this particular tournament. So remember, at every tournament, the rules of play might differ based on the discretion of the tournament controllers. Clint Jensen, you'd think he was playing on the
Yeah,
7 foot
very nice.
table, and he does it again. A finish that looked seemingly difficult, made light work of it, and he's taken the lead once again. Clint Jensen 4, Stephen Ellis 3 in this race to 7.
Yeah, very nice from Jensen. 3-2 down, makes a break and run, and makes a rack and run off his opponent's try break. Classy stuff from Clint Jensen at the moment to be in the lead in this race to 7 men's final here at the European Heyball Open 2025.
Wherever you're joining us, whether it's on the WPA Live.tv platform or Facebook or YouTube, hit us up. Tell us who's your favorite to win. We're approaching the business end of this men's final. Clint Jensen leads 4-3, just a few more points. And we'll be crowning the new champion for the German Heyball Open. So, whoever your favorite is, hit us up on the live streams. Tell us who that person is.
Yeah, and it looks like a dry
Neither
break
of
from
these
Jensen.
players,
Have been breaking
neither
in.
of them have had much, have had much, let's say, good roles with the break. As you can see, for those of you just join us, this table, this stream is sporting the new Unity set from WPA and Dynasphere. The tournament itself is brought to you by Joy Billiards, Lieber Win, Dynasphere, WPA. You'll see all the sponsors there on the banner behind the TV table. All of this made possible by those who invest in this code from behind the scenes, make it possible for the players to go and play for big rewards and ranking points. Nice to see, Raymond, that the carpet that I've seen in many a casino and hotel in South Africa is the same carpet we're seeing in Bad Windenglen.
But Volendam,
I'm sure
yeah, very true.
Bad
It's
Wildenden.
a hotel and casino carpeting. Yeah, but you've seen what a great venue this is from the shots of the sometimes during the matches or
Yes.
between the matches we have shots of the hall. 16 joy tables, I believe, and what a venue it is. Really classy stuff here pulled off by WPA and the EPBF and Joy to bring this tournament to Germany and to the players, as you say.
Yeah, and of course the streaming partners, we're talking WPA Live.tv in proud partnership with Four Sense, we're talking Kazoom, we've got the German production team as well behind the scenes. So it really takes a village to put on this kind of show. And, thank goodness for the information age that we're in, that we're live in the time when we can watch all these amazing players as we see Stephen Ellis on the black once
Yeah,
again
Ellis.
for four.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff from Ellis, and he's not going to take this lying down. Another fantastic counter clearance. So we might not be seeing the best breaks or players potting on the break, but we are seeing some excellent rack and runs and counter clearances in this match between these two excellent players.
I'm really, really excited to see what the future holds for the Haywall scene. Especially with how well players outside of China are taking to the game. And I think, we've got to give props to Joy Billiards and WPA for these events and for allowing the players this platform to hone their skills in, because not only are they playing other European, Oceanic, African players, they're also playing against some of China's finest and they're holding their own. So I think what we're going to see as the years progress, I say the next 3 to 5 years, a lot more non Chinese players in the business end of the huge big events, the pivotal events like the Masters, which usually happens around March, April of the year.
Yeah, very true. And we have seen more international players making that last 32, last 24, and even last 16 at the Joy Masters main international event. And yeah, it's lovely to see that. And we're seeing more and more of them, as you say, with these continental events, bringing Hayball to more countries and more continents around the globe. Definitely see the international standard rising. Oh, that's a massive break from Stephen Ellis. See a blue straight into the center. So Stephen Ellis stays at the table. And what an opportunity to take the lead for Stephen Ellis now. I think you'd have to go pinks. Straight away, we'd see the
Yeah, the
problem ball
pink
being those
certainly look
two
good.
blues and the blue on the cushion. Yeah, pinks are great in this layout.
Time.
Nicely done. Nicely done. I do think he's going to clean up on this side of the table first.
Yeah, black ball goes into the center and the corner as well. You'd want to take that to the center only if you're right behind it, otherwise hitting it to the top
Time.
corner. But let's see if he does clean up at the bottom of the table. That's what he'd be doing. However, move the cue ball into the top half. And it looks like he's going to
I
take
think
care of those two that are in balk.
yeah, I think he actually wants to play that black potentially for the corner
Into the
pocket
top
on the top
corner.
of the
Yeah.
table. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason I feel he'd actually come into balk now and take care of those two first.
Interesting choice there. From that angle that we just observed, it looked like the black was comfortably into the center pocket. Should he have played that pink last? But I mean, Stephen Ellis, he knows what he's doing. He knows his story. That makes sense now. That makes sense.
Yeah, he's just opened up that black ball for himself very nicely and has the angle on this pink to just stun across. Yeah, effortlessly cued from Stephen Ellis. Really nice to watch.
Look at that. Oh, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. He manufactured that finish and that was really lovely to watch. He makes it look so simple, but that's a well-deserved fifth point there for Stephen Ellis. He leads 5-4 now in this race to 7.
Yeah, and once again, nice break and run from Ellis there with a big break. So it's all up to Clint Jensen if he can brown now. If he doesn't, and he leaves an open table for Ellis, that could be Ellis on the hill.
I must say, though, if you're just looking, superficially at this, just in terms of body language, Raymond, I've got to say that Ellis looks a lot more comfortable, a lot more sure, a lot more resolute, not to take anything away from Clint Jensen. But I think with each run out that he's managing to execute, that confidence is growing and it's definitely showing in his body language.
Yeah, and also I think he's played a lot more Heyball than Clint Jensen, especially on an
Absolutely.
international level. We've seen him at all the From China with Love tournaments last year. Now he's at the Joy Billiards Uniting the World tournaments. He's been at every station event, and yeah, he's playing a lot of Heyball internationally. Is Stephen Ellis, so he's won with this game now, and that's why when he is in the mood, he looks so comfortable on the table, makes it look so easy as well. And that looks like a dry break now from Clint Jensen.
Oh
That's going
my,
to
not
bring
another one.
Stephen Ellis to the table, dry break, and currently leading 5-4.
Oh, and he's been punished for those dry breaks time and time again in this match in particular. And that's really sad. I mean, in a final, your break's just not there. You got to feel for Clint Jensen. He hasn't, he
Yeah,
hasn't, he
and
hasn't had the opportunity to go for it off a break. And a player like him, the way they pick up momentum once given that chance. Yeah, it's
and
definitely
worse so
ouch.
is Jensen
Definitely.
was a finalist in the European Championship over the past weekend, runner up in that tournament. So once again, another final for him. I'm sure he'd want to convert this one to a win and not leave Germany with two finals and two second place finishes.
Yeah, thank you for everybody who's joining from across the world on the stream. It's not too late. Hit that share button wherever you're watching, whether it's YouTube or WPA Live.tv or even on the various Facebook pages. Clint Ianson and Stephen Ellis. We're at the business end of this men's final live at Minden,
Time.
Germany. It's a race to 7.
Yeah, navigating that traffic nicely through the top of the table and back down into this half of the table. So close to his work now is Stephen Ellis.
Yeah, I think Ellis has capitalized at least 3 times off the dry breaks from Clint Ianson, like capitalized in stellar fashion with clearances, reverse dish, or what do we call it?
Rack and run.
Rack and run. Certainly
Yeah, he
looking
definitely has
so polished.
quite a few rack and runs from Ellis in this match, as opposed to runs from either player. I believe Ianson with 1 break and run, Ellis with 2 so far, but the rest have been clearances, just 2 frames where both players actually came to the table. Other than that, rack and runs and reverse clearances all the way in this match thus far.
And look at this. Look at this. He made such light work of the blues for his 6th point.
Yeah, and that will put him on the hill, and he will be breaking next as well.
Nicely
Yeah,
done.
look at that.
Nicely done.
Light work of the blues.
Stephen Ellis on the
Very nicely
hill
done.
in this men's final. We saw that WPA Live.tv. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know, is the new streaming platform launched at the Commonwealth Billiards Championship, which happened about over a month ago in Mauritius. And WPA Live.tv is the platform that you can watch all WPA ranking events on for the various under WPA, including black ball, Heyball, 9 ball, 8 ball American, the American. So remember, that's the website where you can catch all the action and also highlights from previous events where these events have been streamed on that platform. Ellis just 1 point away now from being crowned the European Heyball Open champion in Bad Wildingen, Germany. And Clint Ianson, well, he's just got to hope that he gets a chance at the table, because we have seen him do some pretty impressive stuff in this match as well. Even though Ellis has the 2 point lead, it's just his breaks. To say it's those breaks that have let him down, we might be seeing a very different scoreline otherwise. I think it would have been head all the way had those breaks worked for Ianson.
Yeah, we'd have had a much closer match, I feel, and I think it's the first time in the match that we've had a 2 point gap between these two. It has been close, but as you say, the try breaks from Ianson letting him down. Break and run from Ellis, then a rack and run off Ianson's try break. And I do believe Ellis will be in the next frame as well.
I think Ellis has taken a comfort break. He should be returning to the table now.
Yeah, every 5 frames, players get a 5-minute break, but Ianson deciding not to go out of the arena and stay in his seat. So yeah, we should be continuing shortly. There we go. Ellis has returned. If I'm not mistaken, it is Ellis to break in this 11th rack. Currently leading 6 frames to 4 in this race to 7. Final here at the WPA EPBF European Heyball Open 2025.
When you're just 1 point away from victory and you manage to get a moment with yourself, I mean, players will know. You'll be like, just one more point, just one more point. And sometimes that 1 point can be so elusive. Well, here goes Stephen Ellis for the winning point. Does he get something in on this break? My, oh
No,
my.
it's dry.
Well, there's the lifeline for Clint Ianson. Let's see what's he going to do with it.
Yeah, chance for Ianson, and that's all you want with your opponent breaking from on the hill. That's all you need. It's just a chance to come to the table.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty impressive clearances from Clint Ianson. I mean, on frames that looked rather difficult, it didn't look like the finish was on. We've seen him do that time and time again, and I think this is one of those instances now where he's to dig deep, and we saw him go for a safety move there, just blocking. Ooh, I don't think there's too much of a gap there, Raymond. Too much of a gap there where the pink is at the corner of the pocket, at the corner.
Yeah,
I
there's
think he
quite a
wanted.
gap there for those blues to go in. They can even go cushion first. A lot of space.
Well, clever shot there from Ellis. If he is forcing Clint Ianson to play on that pink now for the corner pocket. However, Ianson might have a shot at the pink in the middle of the table as well. He's going for the corner.
Yeah, let's see if we can make something happen here. We do know that the pink ball on the left-hand side of the table does pass. Cue ball will be going into the bunch, so if it goes into the blue, it will open up things for him.
Time.
Okay, things starting to look a little bit
Yes,
better.
not
Things
bad.
looking like it's
Yeah,
taking
not
shape.
bad.
Yeah, we've seen him. We've seen him manufacture finish in this match already. We know his capability. Most of us would have been, onlookers, just wowed by what he can do on the 7-foot table. And I've seen him play some pretty impressive hayball over the last 2 years as well. So Clint Ianson definitely with a good chance here to stay in this match.
That ball now passes into the center from where the cue ball is.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, if he leaves himself with an
We've got,
angle on the next pink, he can open up the last remaining pink that's between the two blues actually.
yeah, that's going to be
Because
the shot.
currently
That's
that
the
pink
money
doesn't
shot.
pass. And there's the angle.
There's the angle. So do you think he'd want to pass through the gap between that pink and blue, come up on the other side and play the pink towards that pocket, or just nudge that blue out of the way? Oh, it's a difficult
The pink
one.
currently
So interesting.
the pink currently doesn't pass. It doesn't pass into any corner pocket from what I've seen. He has to go into it.
Oh,
There we go.
oh, 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 oh.
And that's the problem
Oh,
with that.
yeah. Oh, wow. Look, I could see a bank, a potential bank for the center pocket. Ambitious shot. I don't know if he has the potting, well, the angle for that bank. Difficult to see from
Time.
this vantage point that we have. What to do? What to do?
Time.
Wow, look at that. And it's a foul. Unlucky.
And you know what? He actually overcut that. So that means that that ball could go into the top corner. He overcut that. That was have a look at this. Overcut into that top corner. That actually means that it could have gone, and now ball in hand for Stephen Ellis.
Time.
Mm.
Just 1 point
Well,
away.
just 1 point, and that table looks good for Stephen Ellis. We see Andrew Cox asks on the stream, what's up with the pink and blues? Is this the new thing? This is indeed the new thing, Andrew Cox. This is the Unity set from WPA and Dynasphere. It is the official Heyball set of that will be used at all of the Joy WPA events. It was just launched a couple of weeks ago and being showcased here at this tournament for the first time. So if you go and have a look at the Dynasphere page or the WPA page, you'll see some reviews from some of the players who played with this ball set at the tournament, and also Jorgen Sandman, one of the head honchos in WPA, talking a little bit about the development of this ball set and why they decided to go this route. So some interesting watching for those of you who are interested to know the thought process behind the Unity ball set. Stephen Ellis. I got a feel for
Yeah, he's
Clint
taking
Jensen
quite
there,
nicely.
Raymond. Clint came pretty close there to landing a 5th point and potentially forcing a decider, but this looks really simple now for Stephen Ellis, and he's played really well in this match, and actually for the entire tournament, Stephen Ellis was a favorite.
Yeah, no, I quite feel for Clint Jensen as well, as this is his second final in the last few years. Wasn't able to convert the first one, and it's looking like he's going to have second place once again if Ellis can finish this off. So you have to feel for Jensen.
And that
Yeah,
looks
really
kind of
nicely done
perfect,
now
if
from
I do
Ellis.
say so.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
lovely.
Stephen Ellis,
Lovely.
your European Heyball Open 2025 champion in the men's division, defeating his good
Yeah.
mate
And he
Clint
certainly,
Jensen 7-4.
certainly took that black with a passion there, Raymond. Stephen Ellis. Like you said, well-deserved champion. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. You can stay tuned for the prize giving. I'm Lenyukta Chetty signing off. Over to you, Raymond.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lenyukta, for joining me in commentary for the final. And yeah, it's been an excellent tournament here in Germany. Thank you guys for tuning in throughout the tournament and being on our WPA Live.tv channel, our Joy Facebook channel and YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much. I'm Raymond Tillak, your commentator, and we'll be back at the next tournament. Stay tuned for the prize giving. Thank you guys.
Yeah, come on, the cushion. Happy for you. Now we place the place for the winner place. Fuck, absolutely.
Let us begin with women's division. Bronze medal go to Narantuya Bayar Saichan, representing Mongolia. Linnea Halmström, Sweden. Runner-up and silver medalist, Shi Tianqi, representing China. And European Heyball Open 2025 Women's Division Champion Kelly Fisher. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of the United Kingdom. Let us continue with European Heyball Open 2025 award ceremony for men's division. Bronze medal go to João Grilo, representing Portugal. Bronze medalist Max Bangkok. Runner-up, Clint Eidson, representing United Kingdom. 2025 champion of men's division, gold medalist Stephen Ellis. Please rise for the national anthem of the United Kingdom. Once again, we'd like to thank our presentation party, Mr. Ralph Goodheil, Mr. Chao Yongxi, and Mr. Jorgen Sandman, and of course, all the organizers, all the players, everyone who were here. Thank you, see you in next events, and have safe travels.